King Delyrous. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, born and raised. This is my home, you know what I mean? And I've been doing music for a cool minute. Like I want to say at least 15 plus years.
Damn.
Yeah. I wouldn't say doing it like, you know, 100% just committed to the music shit. For the first like 10 years of doing music, it was just kind of, you know, being around the scene, watching my dad do it, shit like that.
Yeah.
For the past like 5 years, we'll say, is when I, you know, buckled down and I was like, this is me. Like, this
So tell us about your earlier years before you got into the rap. Like, you say you're born and raised from here, Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
Yeah. What part of Albuquerque?
I grew up on the Westside, but I mean, I bounced around everywhere. I went to 3 different high schools. You know what I mean? Well,
sure.
More than 3. I went to fucking Valley, Albuquerque High, West Mesa, Trisco Heritage, and this little D-home school, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They call it continuation school or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I got kicked out of Valley for assault and battery on a peace officer.
Oh, shit, you got kicked out of high school?
Yeah, I got kicked out of Valley. I got kicked out of Albuquerque High too.
Tell us about the assault though, what did you say?
So I had like six charges. They were trying to do me so bad that they were trying to, like, usually assault and battery runs hand in hand, right? But they were trying to charge me with like an account of assault, separate account of battery, and the main one was assault and battery on a school personnel with intent to cause bodily harm.
Oh shit, what happened?
But it was a peace officer, so it was a cop. So we got kicked out of Valley, me and my older brother, like a week into that motherfucker, right? And everybody had told us, like, there ain't no black dudes at Albuquerque. I mean, at Valley, you know what I mean? Like, it's different from Albuquerque. Yeah, there ain't no black dudes. Y'all are gonna be the only 2 black dudes out there. We're like, the fuck? So we go and shit. We're at a football game, and next day we show up to school and shit, and they try to say that we were gangbanging at this football game, right? I'm like, the fuck? We're gangbanging shit. You know what I mean? Like. So, yeah, we were like, okay, well, what were we banging, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, well, you guys were throwing a VL, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, I associated with the VL boys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at that time, like, I wasn't a part of VL, you know what I mean? Like, just my niggas, you know, I grew up with them since middle school, so.
Just affiliated.
Right, so I wasn't, you know, throwing this shit up. So we ended up getting reinstated back into school and shit, and, my mom was at the school one day because they were trying to make me spend the rest of my school year in ISS, right?
Oh, that's fucked up.
It was like the beginning of the school year, you know what I mean?
God, they're trying to do you down like that.
Yeah, I'm like, I ain't about to spend all that time in that shit, you know what I mean? So we had already had a lawsuit against him, you know what I mean? Like, the ACLU would pick that shit up. We were all over the news and shit because they were discriminating, you know what I mean? Like, oh, 2 black dudes and a pack of white boys, and they were the ones gangbanging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they picked that shit up quick as fuck. And we had a lawsuit and shit, so their main intent was get me and my brother out of the school, you know what I mean? And so, try to push me out, well, you're gonna spend the rest of this year in this fucking classroom, in this classroom only, you know what I mean? So my mom showed up to the school, and she was trying to talk to the principal and shit, and a cop ended up fucking, boom, hitting her right in her throat and shit. So I blacked out, you know what I mean? Blacked out, a couple security guards like try to stop me, you know, piece them up real quick. So that's how I caught all of the assault and battery of school personnel. Security guards.
Security guards?
And then the cop was on top of my mom. And that's when, you know.
Yeah, so you went to work because they put hands on your mom?
Yeah.
Damn,
I mean, that's anybody though, you know what I mean? Even the judge was like, you know, anybody that sees their mom get assaulted by somebody, period, like, they're gonna react in a certain type of way.
Crazy.
You know, what's funny is my stepdad was in there too, and they arrested him off jump. Right as soon as he hit her, they put him in cuffs and took him out the office. Forgot all about my little ass in the back. And that's how I caught all those assault and battery on school personnel, is because all the security guards started trying to stop me.
Damn.
I was just...
Were you rapping at this time?
I was associated with the music scene, but I wasn't doing music at that time.
Not too much.
I wasn't dropping tracks, I should say. Like, I was writing shit, you know, in the studio with my dad and his shit, you know, but I wasn't personally, you know, jumping in that booth, you know, actually putting music out there.
So when did you start, you know, actually pursuing the music, so to speak, you know?
I'll say about, 2015 is when I was like, this is what I'm gonna do, right? I just had a passion for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the creation process is what I fell in love with. And so that 2016 is about when I was like, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do.
So.
From 2016 is I wasn't dropping nothing like this, or you know, like that one we just watched. I wasn't dropping nothing like this in 2016. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, craft is definitely progress. You know what I mean? But that's when I first, you know, came out and started doing the shit.
Yeah.
Jumping on shows and shit. I think the first show I ever did was at Leo's for this Get Money Stop Hating shit.
Yeah.
And I was watching all these cats performing. I think I was honestly the only hip hop act on that shit. And so everybody else was doing like this, you know, country, singing, and all this other shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I thought this was like a hip hop show, you know?
Yeah.
So I did my little thing, and that was my first performance. It was just to get like those butterflies out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then after that, like being on that stage and just, you know, even there was like, I want to say maybe like 20 people in the building. But being on the stage and just presenting my craft is where I was really like, this is where it's at for me.
You were like, damn, this is lit right here. I like this.
Yeah.
So what was that? 2015, you said?
That was like 2015. I jumped on that first show.
And that's when you started kind of like making music consistently.
That's when that's when I really was just like, you know, well,
yeah, because you've been putting out some videos for a little bit of time now.
Yeah, I got, you know, I want to see maybe like 7 videos up there possibly.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Are you on all platforms?
All platforms.
All platforms.
I'm even on some overseas shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like over 300 and we'll say 300 platforms. Mm-hmm. There's a number there, but we'll say 300
Where can everybody
platforms.
Find your music and whatnot?
My main platforms that, you know, I really push and promote on are YouTube, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music.